Hey everybody, Dirili here. Thank you so much for joining me for another episode of Office Lovers. We are on Mahiro Kunizu's route. On Chapter 2, Detective Work. We suspect him of industrial espionage, or corporate espionage. Let's see if we can clear his name or not. You can just sit back, relax, and let me read you a story. It was official. Mahiro and I were assigned to work on perfumes as a team.
Here are the details. You can begin work on it starting tomorrow.
Okay.
Alright.
We spent the day studying the details and collecting marketing data. Time went by fast, and I barely noticed most of the others had left.
Good work, you two. I'll see you tomorrow.
Good night. One by one, the building emptied, leaving just Mahiro and I all alone. That's all we can do for today. I sent the completed files to Mahiro via email.
Well, it seems like we did a lot for being our first day on it.
We got lucky because most of what we needed was already done for us.
I'm sure the rest will be fine. Still, I'm just happy we got assigned to this.
It's all thanks to you.
Only half thanks to me. You're the other half of this team.
No, I mean, you saved my butt back at the meeting.
Oh, the questions?
Yeah, I didn't come prepared to answer that.
Well, I only realized we might get asked that right before the meeting. I threw something together really quick in case it happened.
You should have told me. I could have at least tried to help.
Sorry, I was so busy with other things I forgot to mention it to you.
He looked suspicious there for some reason. Shifty eyes. That didn't sound like teamwork to me.
It's not like I was hiding it from you. I simply forgot.
I hadn't blamed him for everything, but it seemed like he was making excuses. That made his reaction all the more suspicious.
I'd never lie to the girl I like.
Ugh, he looked me straight in the eye when he said it, and he's blushing. What are you talking about? Not that all over again. Embarrassed, I had to avoid looking at him.
Do you hate me?
With his hand on my shoulder, he whispered into my ear. It was different than a normal whisper. His voice was deep and seductive. I never said that, but...
So I've got a chance then.
He smirked at me before placing his lips on my hand. We were alone in the office late at night when Mahiro kissed my hand. What do you think you're...
Look, you're all red.
Of course I am. Anyone would be.
You liked it. You wouldn't have let me do it if you didn't want me to.
You surprised me. I was unprepared for intercepting it. I was stunned. He pulled my hand towards him, guiding me into his arms. What are...
You look so cute when you're blushing. I just had to.
He rested his head on my shoulder. That doesn't mean you can...
I love you. If you make a face like that in front of me, I can't help myself. I need you. I want you to be only mine. Will you let me hold you?
I felt his whisper in my ear, but his lips were already kissing the side of my neck. Stop! You can't! His soft breath tickled the back of my neck, forcing some strange sounds out of me.
You're so sensitive. I'm a little surprised.
His slender fingers twirled and ran through my hair. Wow, he confessed early, man. I mean, he did say stuff in the first chapter, but he's already whipped out the I love you. No, I'm... Right before I could finish, he gently blew into my ear. My entire body shivered like I had lost all control of it.
And your ears are too.
Shut up! Don't do that!
I wasn't doing anything special. It was just my breath.
He snickered as his hand glides down my body to my skirt.
You're always so composed that hearing you just now feels so naughty.
His arm sneaked it. What? Am I gonna have to censor this? Please, game, don't make me, make this a restricted video. His arm sneaked inside my skirt, rubbing against the thin stockings running down my legs. Wait, where do you think you're...
Where else? The place you'll feel the most.
His fingers found their way into my shirt. Why is this even happening in an office of all places? My body began to twitch as the sensation of his fingers aroused me. It would all be over if I pushed him away, and yet I couldn't find it in me to stop him. If this continues any longer... No! His arms wrapped around me from behind. Unable to resist his attack, I closed my eyes. Suddenly, his embrace loosened and he released me.
Are you scared? You're shaking.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like I'm losing control of my body and I can't stop it. It's scary.
Have you fallen under my spell?
I don't know. That's why I'm scared.
Maybe you wouldn't feel like this if you knew me better.
I don't know. I really didn't know what was happening to me.
Hurry up and fall in love with me already.
Like I'd ever do that.
Say whatever you'd like, but I'm going to make you fall for me, whether you want to or not.
He smirked and looked into my eyes before drawing his face close and closing his eyes. He seems more cocky in this than the other ones. He totally seems way different in this route. He was coming in for a kiss. I closed my eyes and waited for it, but was tricked. He kissed my forehead. A surge of disappointment rushed through me. What was I expecting? We shouldn't be doing this. I'm not your girlfriend. I was upset and it showed in my voice. Besides, if we were caught, we'd get in a lot of trouble.
That's why I kissed up here. Did you want it somewhere else instead?
He lifts up my chin and strokes my lips with his thumb. What was it? What did I really want?
If you aren't sure, we can find out. I won't disappoint you, I guarantee it.
I can't refuse. When he looks at me like that, my body won't obey me. Click. We shoved off each other quickly as the door swung open. Saved by the bell! Thank you, Mr. Otori!
You two still here? I'm glad you're working hard, but don't overdo it. There's always tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm just leaving. See you tomorrow, Mahiro. I picked up my bag, held it tight, and left the office as quick as my feet could take me. That was too close. Had the CEO not walked in, we would have kissed for sure. Maybe it wouldn't have stopped at just that. My mind wandered and made me blush just thinking about it. Ring, ring, ring. I quickly retrieved the phone from my pocket to see a message from Mahiro. I cautiously tapped the phone, nervous to see what it said.
I'm sorry about earlier. That probably was a little too much. But what I said was completely true. I really do love you. Believe me.
I don't believe you. We don't know each other well enough for that. You can't just toss around the word love. How serious was he really? I didn't know how much of what he said was true. Unsure of my own feelings, I couldn't think of what to say, so I didn't message back. The next day, I left home for work even earlier than usual. Couldn't even get a wink of sleep last night. I felt so exhausted that I knew work was going to be rough today.
Good morning.
I had just sat down when Mahiro came in a few minutes after me. Good morning.
What's wrong? You don't look so hot. Couldn't sleep?
Whose fault is that, I wonder? His cheerful tone ticked me off, so I shot back at him in an annoyed voice.
So, you're saying you were thinking so much about me that you couldn't sleep?
Ugh. Nothing short of a bullseye.
Shut up. No kidding?
He started to blush and then looked away from me. I should say, I was worried about being sexually harassed when I come back into work. How could he have been so composed when he did it yesterday, but so embarrassed now? He's strange. Sorry, but I've got work to do here. I was too embarrassed to be in the same room as him. I had to leave now. I hid away in another room and looked up things. I was so distracted that I remembered none of it. Hey, what are you up to? Not much. Hey, weren't you in the same department as Mahiro? Yeah, but don't tell me you like him. No, that's not why I asked. We're on the same team now, so I was just curious. Oh, well, he acts like a goof sometimes, but he's actually a pretty serious guy. Don't fall for him, though. He turned down girls already. He's got someone he likes, I guess. Oh? That's interesting. I thought for sure he acted the way he did with me with all women. Maybe he was being a lot more honest to me than I gave him credit for. I couldn't be in the same room as Mahiro, so I was working alone when a friend came to talk. Do you know who he likes? I guess it's someone that joined the same time as him. He had liked her since training. Speak of the devil.
Here you are. I've been looking for you. Come on.
Huh? Wait a second. Before I knew it, he grabbed me by the arm and quickly dragged me away. Where are we going? It wasn't until we were shut away in the meeting room did he let me go. What's gotten into you? I remembered what happened yesterday, so I put my hands up in defense.
What's that? Are you going to fight someone?
I guess I put my hands up in a fighting defense. Considering how you attacked me yesterday, I might make it an option.
I'm really sorry about what happened. Something like that will never happen again. I promise.
He put his hands together and bowed to me, begging for forgiveness. Can I trust you to keep your word?
Look, I'm a guy. If it's just the two of us, of course I want to do that. But it's not like I'm just after you for your body or anything. If it happens, I'd want it to be something both of us want, not just me.
That's not how it looked yesterday.
I know. That's why I'm here asking you to forgive me.
He desperately pled for forgiveness. I couldn't imagine he was lying if he was trying this hard.
I didn't get this so you'd forgive me, but I got something for you.
In his hand rested a fancy little lunchbox. It was packed with fried eggs and meat, plus a tiny hot dog and some other little snacks. To be honest, it looked like something a little girl might make on her first try. Did you make all this? That's when I noticed his outstretched fingers were covered in bandages and scratches. Well, I guess he's not as good at cooking in this one as he was in other routes. Well, Hyogo's route. Man, the writers for different routes really need to collaborate.
I know you don't like it when I buy you lunch, so I decided to make you some instead. Also, if you saw it was handmade, you might see how serious I really am, and forgive me.
Only if it tastes good.
That's not fair. But, I think I did a good job. Try some.
Looking at the little lunchbox, I wondered if he went shopping for it too. I couldn't just let all his work and food go to waste. Thanks, I'll try a little bit. Eating his handmade lunch felt so much more embarrassing than being treated to dinner. It's actually good. While it didn't look that impressive, it tasted rather delicious.
Right? It took me 10 tries to get the flavor right.
10 tries? That sounds like a lot of work.
It was all for you, so I don't mind.
Why was Mahiro trying so hard just to impress me?
You don't believe me?
I don't know, but at least it tastes good.
I can make it tomorrow, too. We could eat here again.
You will do no such thing.
What? Why not?
Because I will. What had come over me? The words came out of my mouth before I knew what I was saying.
Really?
Yeah, because I've never given you anything. It won't be homemade, though. I don't have time.
I don't mind. As long as we can eat together, I'll be happy.
He put his arm around my shoulder and pecked my cheek with a kiss.
Sorry, I was just so happy.
Ever since that day, we ate our lunches together in the meeting room.
Hey, are you free this Saturday?
Yeah, why?
Let's go on a date.
Not again. A date? We're not a couple or anything.
Then call it marketing research, but on the weekend with just the two of us.
That sounds too much like a date to me, but just working won't be any fun at all.
Does that mean you're okay with it?
Since it's work, fine.
Whatever the reason, you just made me happy.
He was giddy with excitement, so much in fact that I felt it too. But then... What?
I'm sorry, I can't go tomorrow.
What, you have to report to your real boss? Mahiro abruptly canceled our plans.
I'm so sorry. Something came up and I can't get around it.
That's fine, no worries. I casually shrugged it off, but inside I was more disappointed than I showed. Why was I getting so upset? Did it mean that much to me? And then...
No joke. It really happened.
I can't believe it. When I saw him chatting away with another woman, my heart cringed.
Dirili.
Our eyes met, but I couldn't speak a word. I dashed away as fast as I could. In the end, I had to confront him as we had a meeting scheduled to talk about work.
Hey, are you mad about what happened earlier?
When it was just us remaining in the room, he confronted me. He was talking about when I'd run away without saying anything. It's not what you think.
But you're thinking more and more about me, aren't you?
He seemed proud of it. Still, I couldn't deny it. Lately, I found myself paying more attention to him. Not to mention, I started to use the perfume he bought me every day.
That perfume?
When his face came closer to sniff it, my heart skipped a beat.
You like citrusy scents, don't you?
How did you know? How did you know?
Even without perfume, your hair and skin kind of smell like it. You must be using some sort of citrus soap.
I'm surprised you noticed.
Well, my nose is sensitive, and I notice these things about you. I like cologne, but maybe I should try something new. I could try using it too. That way, you'd like me even more.
He caressed my cheek with his palm and stared into my eyes. Click. As soon as I heard the door open, I scrambled to stand up.
So, here's where you've been hiding.
Ken! Yeah, we had a meeting, but it's over now. There was no reason to run away, but I panicked and started putting my things away.
Great. Then, would you be able to help me with something for a little bit? I've got a few things I'd like to ask you.
Sure, lead the way. See you later, Mahiro.
Yeah.
He nodded at me, but he seemed a little worried. Was I being rude to him? If Kentaro hadn't came, I might have gotten carried away in the moment and told Mahiro I liked him. This was an important time in my life. I couldn't put my career at risk by seeing a coworker. I needed to get a grip on my emotions.
Hey, are you even listening to me?
Oh, sorry, what were you saying? I couldn't let myself fall apart like this. So, to get any sort of sales, you've got to give management the data that... Back in the office, I was explaining some of the concepts I'd learned to Kentaro. It had also been a while since we last talked to each other, so before we knew it, it was late. It's already this dark? Sorry, Ken, but we need to wrap this up for today.
Oh, I don't mind. You really taught me a lot today. Thank you.
If you ever need to know anything, just know that I'm available to help you out, okay?
Okay, it really means a lot to me. Thanks so much. Take care.
Heading home early sounded like a good idea today. I must have forgot my memory card back in the meeting room. The room wasn't close, but I needed it, so I marched all the way there. When I got there...
It's going well. I'm working on developing some new fragrances.
I heard Mahiro's voice, but hesitated to walk into the room. Peeking in through the crack in the door, I saw him talking to someone on the phone. He's really not very careful. He's always leaving the door open a crack. If you're a spy, you're a really bad one, Mahiro. Something about it seemed strange. Besides, we weren't supposed to talk about the project with any of the other employees. Could he be talking to someone outside the company? It wasn't the first time I'd heard him have a suspicious phone call with someone. I'd also seen him when he was handing what looked like confidential papers to a woman. I'd be relieved if I was mistaken, but if he was a spy, I'd have to stop him. Shouldn't I have said something to someone by now?
Okay, I'll contact you later.
Click. I pushed open the door after his call was over and walked into the room.
Hey, need something?
No matter how I looked at it, he was clearly panicked. Yeah, I just forgot something.
Oh, okay.
Mahiro, are you hiding something from me?
Huh? No. I haven't done anything wrong.
His eyes wandered around the room, and his voice was unusually quiet. At this point, no matter what he said otherwise, I knew he was hiding something from me. I could tell he wasn't going to tell me anything. If I wanted to stop him, I needed another way. When I got to the office the next morning, Mahiro was already there. You're here early today.
Yeah, I forgot to finish up a few things yesterday.
He closed the lid on his laptop like he didn't want me to see something. Oh. He was acting very suspicious.
Hey, yesterday did you...
Ring, ring, ring. His phone began to ring, cutting him short.
Sorry, I'll catch up with you later.
Leaving the room in a hurry, his eyes darted here and there, making sure no one was near. He took the call in the hallway, but he didn't notice that I sneaked close to the door to listen. Oh, now I'm just giving in to eavesdropping. Never mind accidental overhearing, we're just actively doing it now.
I told you not to call me. What are you going to do if we get found out? That was too close. Yesterday someone might have heard us. What? Tonight? That's too soon.
Something suspicious was definitely going down tonight.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Ken. I couldn't keep listening, so I returned to the office.
I put together some ideas. Could you take a look at them for me?
Sure thing. I took a look at the papers he bought after sitting down at my desk. That looks great. I'm impressed. Now I know why everyone's talking about you.
Oh, please. It's nothing that good. I'm just an amateur at this.
No, for real. This looks so good, I'd want some for myself. Now all that's left is to consider the cost for the ingredients. Wait, that's not bad at all. I was talking to Ken about his new lipstick idea when Mahiro came back.
Oh.
When he entered the room, he looked at me for just a moment. It was long enough to tell he wasn't very happy about something. Later that night...
Hey, now that we've got a feel for our project, do you care if we work separate for a while?
No, I don't mind. This was such a tangent from before where he wanted nothing more than to work together. Why would he want to split all of a sudden? I was shocked. What was going on with him? For the time being, we went our separate ways. I would work on the marketing side, and he would work on the design.
See you tomorrow.
Yeah. It was about time to go home. Am I going to tail him? As long as Mahiro wasn't a spy, I had nothing to complain about. But were it true, I would have to convince him to stop somehow. Maybe it was nothing. Maybe stalking him was overreacting, but I did it anyway. No matter what I told myself, I still had to know. This could be dangerous. It was far too unnerving to just continue on with my life and ignore it. I should have talked to somebody about this instead of doing this by myself. Who knows who he's working with? Mahiro checked out the area around him before plunging into an alley. It wasn't even a shortcut to the train station. Most people would never go through it. Was he trying to stay out of sight? Was he going to meet someone there in secret? I remember the pretty lady he had met with before. Was he meeting her in there? Perhaps she was a spy too. Maybe he was actually dating her and planned to use me as a cover. Walking through the dark alley, I could only think of terrible things. When I spotted Mahiro, he was standing outside a hotel. Was this a secret rendezvous? He exchanged some quick words with someone and then headed for the elevator. It went to the 5th floor. I hope I can get there by the stairs. I ran to the emergency exit and took the stairs upward. I nervously moved into the main floor area. Ugh! Suddenly, someone had grabbed my arms and covered my mouth. I knew this was a bad idea. What was happening to me? Slam! I squirmed and struggled, but before I knew it, I was shoved into a room and the door slammed shut. No, this couldn't be happening. What did I get myself into? Oh, no way on there. Well, I can't stop there. Well, chapter 3 will be fake love. Does that mean he was just playing me this whole time or not? Well, I gotta read it. So you all will probably hear it soon enough. Hope to see you there or in some of my other videos. And I'd be so grateful for any likes, comments, subscriptions, or shares with your friends to show some support. Thank you so much for joining me, and I wish you all health, happiness, and safety. Dirili signing out. Bye-bye, everybody.